Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to call to order our City Commission meeting of this evening. It's nice to have all these friendly faces. We appreciate you all joining us. And I know why many of you came. You remembered that it was Kenny Smith's birthday today, so you're out here to help celebrate a birthday for our city manager. That's the only reason I could imagine why you would have come, but
Probably not.
Kenny is,
Motion to adjourn.
And the crowd goes wild.
and the crowd goes wild. I think he's celebrating his 32nd anniversary of his 29th birthday, somewhere in that neighborhood, so. Okay, without further ado, I'm gonna lead the Pledge of Allegiance this evening, if you'll join in with me. The invocation by me, Commissioner Holberg. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Who's got it? Just,
Proclamation.
yeah,
Approve the agenda.
just a second. You have the proclamation? Excuse just a minute, we're almost organized. Okay, Mr. Goldberg.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion to approve the agenda and a second by, who was that? Mr. McLemore. All in favor, please raise your hand. Agenda is approved. The first item of business this evening is a real pleasure. We have a proclamation congratulating Salaam Seafood on its 30th anniversary in the city of Griffin. Is Mr. Amin here this evening? There he is, back there. Good evening. Y'all come forward. Let me read it from here, and then I'll come down and join you in just a minute, so.
Yes, sir.
A proclamation, whereas Salaam Seafood Incorporated was incorporated in May 22nd, 1986, and so whereas Salaam Seafood is celebrating its 30th anniversary as a small business in Griffin, Georgia, located at 503 East Broadway Street, where it has operated in the same location for 30 years, and whereas Daoud and Susie Ann Baldwin Amin were two of the original owners of Salaam Seafood, and whereas Salaam Seafood continues to be an Amin family-owned and operated local small business. And whereas Salaam Seafood has some of the best and most renowned seafood in the city of Griffin and Spalding County, with a customer base that covers the entire state of Georgia. And whereas Salaam Seafood has employed over 100 full and part-time employees during its 30 years in business, making significant contributions to workforce longevity and a feeling of community proprietorship. Therefore, be it resolved that Salaam Seafood has been the longest family-owned and operated seafood restaurant in the city of Griffin to date, and further, be it resolved that the Amin family continues to foster economic growth, civic pride, and development in our community. Now therefore, be it resolved that Salaam Seafood Incorporated and the entire Amin family are to be congratulated for this notable milestone. In witness whereof, I, Dick Morrow, as chairman on behalf of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners, do hereby congratulate Salaam Seafood on its 30th anniversary. We appreciate not only its excellent seafood, but also for its steadfast commitment to our entire community. We urge all our citizens to recognize Salaam Seafood and the Amin family for its excellent food, superb service, and tireless dedication to Griffin and Spalding County on this, the 26th day of July in the year of our Lord, 2016, signed by myself and Kenny Smith. So, congratulations. Before I give Mr. Amin a chance to say, I think I've known Daoud for many, many years, and he is a tireless civic contributor. He works the Downtown Development Authority, the Main Street Program, and on, Development Authority. We could go through quite a litany of causes. He works here tirelessly for the city of Griffin and Spalding County. And it's a great personal pleasure and an official pleasure both to congratulate him and his family on his 30 years. So thank you. Need some pictures here. All right. We can do pictures. One of our tricks here in the city, we can do pictures. I'll let you say a few words here.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank Mayor Morrow and the Board of Commissioners, all the citizens and the great supporters we've had for the last 30 years at Salaam Seafood. On behalf of myself, my son, Dawood II here, my daughter, Khalila will be here in a second, and Sophia, my other daughter, and their mother, my wife, Susie, who was the backbone, brain, you name it, all that was Salaam Seafood. That is Salaam Seafood, Susie. So we'd like to thank each and every one of you for your support, and we look forward to continue serving the community here, and thanks again.
Thank you very much.
I'm not a person that condones eating a lot of fried food, but if you should eat fried, eat it at Salaam.
Thank you very much, and we're going to expand that menu to take in those health-conscious individuals, but even at that, some of our local doctors, they frequent Salaam Seafoods. Thank you.
It's doing wonders for you, isn't it, Dave? All right. Well, when a small family-owned business lasts 30 years and is still going strong, that's a good thing, and unfortunately, they don't get that long, so we're very proud of you. Item number 2 is to recognize Jennifer Romazon, our code enforcement officer with the City of Griffin's Planning and Development Department, as the June 2016 Strongest Link Award recipient. Planning and Development Director Toussaint Kirk will address. Good evening, Toussaint.
Good evening. All right, it's really my pleasure to recognize Ms. Romes as our strongest link for June. She's back this summer. You know, we always deal with a lot of issues throughout the day and throughout the months and years, and I always tell staff that if you've got an issue or a problem, try to come up with a solution to the problem. So Ms. Romes engaged the Edgewood community and some of the neighbors there and came up with doing a cleanup, which happened, I guess, was in March or so. And it was very well received. The citizens kind of enjoyed themselves. They had a good time actually cleaning up, and also helped her having not to have to write warnings and citations, you know, on a daily basis for cleanliness or whatnot. So, you know, we congratulate her on her accomplishment, if you will. She was the brainchild behind it all. And what has happened now, other communities are contacting us to do the same thing. So I appreciate all of her effort, and we will continue to strive to be the best. And Ms. Jennifer Rose. So we're 2 for 2 now, so we're going to go for 3 for 3.
This is one you could keep, so thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I just really want to thank everybody that was there and stood in the sun with us and sweated us for us that day. But I just had an idea and I went with it. And hopefully Edgewood continues the cleanup, but that's it.
That's great.
Thank you.
I'll say that there's always a place for citations and a little toughness at times, but that never really solves the problem as well as helping folks actually fix the problem. and do away with it. So I think you took the high road and the better road, and I think you honor all of us for what you did. Okay, item number 3. Recognize the graduates of the second annual Citizens Fire Academy. Chief Tommy Jones, Fire Chief Jones.
Good evening, Commissioners. It's a pleasure to introduce 7 new friends to the city of Griffin. Well, some of them aren't new because they've been through the other academies we have. Our second annual Citizens Fire Academy, which we just finished up not too long ago. You know, with the success of Citizens Government Academy and the Citizens Police Academy, we couldn't be outdone, so we decided to do our own academy to foster that spirit between the citizens and Griffin Fire Rescue. And we had an outstanding 8 weeks, and I'm so grateful that these folks gave up their time to come and cut up cars and burn up buildings and learn about all the neat things that we have going at Fire Rescue. Our schedule, basically, we started May the 12th with an orientation of the American Fire Service, and we learned about the community emergency response teams. We did fundamentals of fire suppression, about hoses, turnout gear and aerials. We did live fire practicals and demonstrations at the burn building at the Spalding County Fire Department. We introduced them to fire prevention and life safety, search and rescue, hazardous materials, vehicle extrication, took them on a tour of the 911 center and our EOC downstairs. Our friends from Spalding County Emergency Management helped us out with the orientation of their programs, and our mutual aid partners at Spalding Regional Hospital told them all about our EMS service. And we just had an outstanding time. I'm so grateful they gave 2 months of their lives to learn about this. And we'd like to recognize them right now. And John is over here with their shirt and their certificates, and we're going to ask y'all to stay over here, and Brian's going to get some pictures for us. First of all, Mr. Mike Mitchell. And Robin Mitchell. Mr. Bill Ball. And Miss Diane Ball.
We let you have one too, Diane.
Come on over here, Bill. Corey Pitts. And Donna Gibson. And last but not least, Ann Cooper. Two lines. Okay, we're going to get our picture now. We just thank you so much for the opportunity to recognize these fine folks, and we look forward to doing this next year. If you have any of your citizens who want to be a part of it, we will certainly love to entertain them.
We very much appreciate you folks. Have you want to say anything while you're up front? It's your chance. Thank you, Ann.
It was phenomenal.
You're good. We expect to see you out there helping at the next fire. Great. I want to see Diane Ball drag that hose around. I want to see that. Item number 4. Recognize, number 1, the award for Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, popularly known as CAFR. And number 2, the award for Outstanding Achievement in Popular Annual Finance Reporting for Popular Annual Finance Reports. And our Chief Financial Officer, Marcus Schwab, will say this. And I'll start it off by saying we're extremely honored that this is the 12th year in a row you won this for the CAFR. And since we started the popular one, the so-called PAFR, this is the 10th year in a row, which is an incredible record, Marcus.
Thank you.
And if I stole your thunder,
You've said it all. I need not say much more. Thanks. Well, to your point, this is a direct result and reflection of the team, the leadership that's here, the guidance that we've had, and the cooperation from staff and the directors, everyone on down to the line to the data entry folks. So everyone's contributed towards that success. It's not one person. It's everybody working together, and that's a reflection as a result of these awards.
I've often said that there's no higher duty that we have as elected officials than to account for every penny of the public and citizens' money, and you obviously do that extraordinarily well to get these awards, and we're proud of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. And that leads into item number 5, which is a review financial reports for May 2016. Marcus?
Shall we go into the boring reports now?
Okay. We joke with Marcus that we love boring financial reports, no exciting hidden nuggets. We like it nice and simple and
Okay.
fair and square.
The first report we look at typically is the cash balance, so we'll go right there. Do you have any questions?
Is the, in the investments account, general fund, it's a little over $4 million. Is any of that money bond money or money that
No, that is the Georgia Fund 1. It's restricted. That's the sales tax that we collect.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to the local option sales tax report. Obviously, we see nothing there yet, and the reason for that is the collections have to come in to satisfy the future bond payments. So at some point, once we start receiving that money, this is for May, we do have $121,000, but it's earmarked. We will start seeing monies populate there once we satisfy the bond portion. The local option sales tax, that was the SPLOST. The local option sales tax numbers are basically where they need to be.
And we're trending upward slowly, so it's a good sign.
Yes. Though I am concerned about the SPLOST numbers.
That might be with the Department of Revenue.
Yes.
They don't get the awards you get for their accounting.
Well, I could work for the state. Okay, so the next report is the interim statements by fund. And this is now May, so this is the 11th month in the period, and we have June that we'll report at the next meeting. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back with you reviewing the year-end numbers. And those are tentative, pretty much everything's in. And again, we have grants that we have to settle down. That's going to take another 30 days till we get all the paperwork to clear. And the auditors will be here on or around the 8th or the 18th of September. They'll be here for a couple weeks, and then we're looking for the audit to be delivered somewhere between October 15 and October 30.
on the capacity recovery fund?
Yes, sir.
It's showing a deposit income this year of $4,806,000. Where budget's only $338. Did we move any money
Okay.
there by chance?
Yeah.
That's right, that's
Development
right.
Authority,
So they paid us $4,500 or
$4.5 million.
4.5 million.
4.5? Okay, so they did pay that.
Yes. And that money would be reserved for those
Jack
projects.
Creek.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Looking good.
Okay, thank you.
Nice and boring, thank you.
As always, I do appreciate everyone's support. It's not easy sometimes to make sure all these numbers get put in the right place. So your patience and understanding, and I like the fact that you guys are very supportive of the decisions and the initiatives that we bring forth. So thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Come to the citizens' comment portion of our agenda. At this time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. We'll start off this evening with our comments. We have two citizens who've asked to be on the agenda and speak. The first, item number 6, is Griffin resident Ray Barron, desires to commend City Commission regarding ongoing work in the streets and intersections and request the addition of an intersection improvement project. Mr. Barron, would you step forward and give us a name and address for the record, please? Good to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm Ray Barron. I live at 123 Maplewood Drive. I'm a native. I'm often asked have I lived in Griffin all my life? And my comment is, I hope not. I
Not
hope
yet.
not. I hope it's not all my life, but that's my reply. I'm here to commend you for your street work that you have done over on West College and Meriwether, over on West Broad and Experiment, and the one that's ongoing now is North Hill and 6. All those are well-deserved. I'd like to see you move to the south side. That is, improve the intersection at East College, Hamilton, and Kincaid. Those streets are offsetting, and I feel like that if you improve that intersection, that would improve the flow of traffic. But the number one item I think is important is safety. East College has a tremendous speeding problem. You just ask the residents on East College and they'll tell you. I think if you put an intersection there, make that a four-way stop. You already have a four-way stop on Kincaid. You already have one on Crescent. Those are working. They have been there to slow down traffic. And I think that the one on East College would do the same thing. Now, I know cost is a factor. Ryan and I talked about this Saturday morning. But I think safety should overrule any cost expense. So that's my comment. I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Before you leave, Mr. Barron, when we discussed this a couple of years ago, we bought that old house in the corner and took it down in preparation for
Right.
being able to do this. So we have the land that can make this happen.
Right.
We did hear from some residents over there who got quite upset at this possibility because they said it would increase traffic through the area, which I don't think that's the case. The traffic is going through the area anyway, but if there's a strong opinion from a lot of folks there, we'd like to know it because we've been influenced in the past by some negative opinion on this. I think it's a good project and should be done myself.
Would a resolution solve some of that problem?
Anything that you'd like to bring to bear is part of what we can look at and make our decision.
And it is in the comprehensive transportation plan that we're reauthorizing tonight as well. So it's in the long term.
It's in the long-term plan. So it is, to get money and get things done, it has to be in our, what we call TIP, Transportation Improvement Plan.
Right.
And Mr. Holberg and I saw that was in there. So it's sitting there with the potential to be done, just needs some advocating.
Okay.
And you started that.
Thank you very much.
Next person on the agenda signed up is Griffin resident Walter Dallas, who desires to address the Board of Commissioners regarding the dumpster placed on Pleasant Avenue. There's my friend, Mr. Dallas, and I'll give an address for the record. It's 1210 Pleasant Avenue. How you doing this evening, Mr. Dallas?
Great so far.
Okay.
Stand upright. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? The concern of mine and some of the residents on Pleasant Avenue, where they moved their dumpster from Thompson Street to our street. It's supposed to be for the Pine Valley Apartments, and we was concerned about if it was Pine Valley, put it down now in the apartments for them, and that put it up on the corner, for eyesore for people driving through. Also, it's drawing cats and dogs and different animals over there. People don't live on the street or in the area, they bringing their trash, throwing it over there, throwing it on the ground, leaving tires. The commissioner, the city manager and the solid waste manager was at my house, I think it was last Thursday. They had looked at it, we walked over there, tires around the dumpster. So they picked them up and carried them away. No later than 15 or 20 minutes after they had left, someone brought trash over there, dumped it on the ground. And we would like to see that dumpster move down in the apartments or back where it was on Thompson Street. I know they said it's no type of solution for it, says it's there. I would like to see it put on their property, down in the apartments, out of sight.
Okay, just for everybody's edification, that dumpster was around the other side, I think it's Turner Street and Dead End and.
Thompson.
Thompson, I mean, and it was a terrible mess over there and had problems. So let me have our city manager explain a little bit the situation, what we've talked about.
Well, unfortunately, garbage dumpsters are nobody's friend, but they have to be somewhere for us to collect the garbage, obviously. This particular apartment complex is not situated very well for a dumpster. We can't get our trucks down into the complex because of the lay of the land, the way the trucks have to go down a hill. The alternative would be to put carts down there, individual carts, which would be 50-some-odd carts that we'd have to go down in there and empty, which is not a good solution either. We've worked with the property owners, and the new dumpster location is actually on their property. It's about the only place on their property that we can locate the dumpster and be able to get the truck to it. We cleared off an area on their property. We built a concrete pad on their property. We moved some electric lines so the truck could actually get to the dumpster and dump it. And the property owners have agreed to build a corral around the dumpster. Unfortunately, we can't make people not illegally dump there. That's a problem that we have all over town. Wherever there is a dumpster located, people from out of town come and throw their trash. Unfortunately, people will just ride by and throw stuff out. That happens not only at this location or the Thompson Street location, but all over town. We're constantly picking up around the dumpsters. The main solution would be for people not to do that, but we can't be there 24/7 to monitor that. So we've done everything that we know to do, and really, as I told him, I don't really have a good solution.
One of the problems Mr. Dallas brought up, was a very real one, is early morning truck and the noise dumping that dumpster.
Yes, sir, and we agreed that we wouldn't pick up earlier than 7 a.m. And I think the residents there were pleased that we were gonna wait till after 7. Normally, those dumpsters are emptied very early, like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, but after he brought that to our attention, we changed the schedule.
Well, that's a small consolation, but Mr. Dallas, I've wrestled with this too with them, and I'm at wit's end. I don't have a better answer. They told me they couldn't get the trucks down that hill in there.
Okay, it's a proper owner responsibility, have them resurface that area again for the trucks to be able to go down in there, pick up that dumpster, because they can take it down in there and put it on the left side when you're going in. All they have to do is pull in, turn to the left, pick it up, back up, dump it, set it down, and come on back out. Because that smell and all the animals coming around there now, because there's some sick people that right in that area. And I'm one of them. Me and my wife is one of them. And the lady on the corner, she is very sick. And I was talking with the city manager last week when he was at my house. He said, like, go out and get tag numbers and stuff like that. Never for me. Now, I was not going out there and get shot. Talking about get a tag number. You know, but it's something need to be done, because they blocked off Thompson Street, so can't nobody go down in there. It got to be a better solution than that. Put it somewhere, like I said, let them pick it up with those barrels. Because since they set that dumpster there, the residents up in the area where I'm at, I don't see why we'll have to pay $20-something a month to pick up garbage. If we got a dumpster over there, we can go put our trash in there, just like everybody else.
We hear you, sir, and I understand.
So there's not this corral that they're talking about currently existing?
No,
I saw the pictures and it didn't have anything around it, so.
No, so they hadn't built it yet, but
What is it?
the apartment owners that agreed to build a corral around it since it's on their property.
So as far as the aesthetics, is that gonna do a lot for the aesthetics, or
If
is it
people
mainly
don't
just
just,
the problem of the dumping that's the real issue?
I mean, that will, trying to remember where a corral is for you to, I mean, you know what they look like, so. I mean, I think it will improve the aesthetics as long as people won't go by and just throw stuff out.
A question. I'm not really sure where this is. Is it off of Melrose? Pleasant off of Melrose, is that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on back up
Yes,
to,
ma'am.
Corner back.
come back up
Okay.
to,
I know what you're
on
talking
Pleasant Avenue, and when you get in the curb, you turn into 19th Street.
Okay.
You got it
I know
sitting
what-
right here
I
on
know
the,
what you're talking about now.
So the
You say
dumpsters
it's, we would have to put 60-something,
I think
carts
it's
down there.
50-something, well, twice that, because you'd have the green carts
Is
and the
that
blue
many units
carts.
down there?
Yeah.
Isn't that a safety hazard if the trash truck can't get down in there?
Can't get
The 911 emergency vehicles shouldn't probably be able to get in there either, right?
It'd be tough. I don't know how you get a fire truck in there because it's down that hill around in the fire.
Well, they could get in there if they had to, but with a garbage truck, you're talking about a couple of times a week going in and out. So that would be different than, you know, an emergency, the fire truck having to get down. I mean, if they had to, they would.
So Thompson Street was I'm looking at the tax map right now. So it used to be on the end of Thompson Street in the cul-de-sac, is where it used to be.
It was on city property on Thompson Street, yes,
I see an old tax map with a picture.
yes,
I'm assuming the new dumpster is in the curve of Pleasant Avenue now?
yes, sir. On the apartment
So
property.
the apartment complex, is there a trail that runs from the other, does the whole complex get serviced by that one dumpster? or they have
Yes.
to-
One.
Well, let me say this. Ms. Dallas, we hear you. We're going to wrestle with this some more. I don't know if we can come up with a better answer or not, but I hear what you're saying. We all do. So let us wrestle this some more and see if we can come up with a better answer. That's the best I can tell you.
yeah, just like I asked you the other day, would it sit by my house so I can move?
There you go. There's an answer.
Mr. Downs, I don't want you to leave without thinking that somebody is not on your side. I like your idea. If it means that the city truck has got to go down in there and make that left turn, pick it up, dump it, and come out twice, because the main thing for me, would we do this, would I want that, me being an elected official, would I want that on my street? Would I want it in front of my house? Would I want that smell? I'm wrestling with the same thing out at Carrington, thank you very much, at Carrington, that is, residents have to, children going to school, open their doors, and they look out in front of their house, and it's trash right in front of their house, garbage, it's rodents, it's everything, and I don't think as an elected official or as city leaders that we can turn a blind eye to what you got going on. So you got some people up here that's going to try to work with you to try to figure out some type of solution.
Yeah, also, the same week that the city manager was out there, someone had robbed a pawn shop or something and dropped some of the merchandise in that dumpster. They found it in there, that Friday morning, because the police officer was over there about 3 hours that morning around that dumpster.
Okay. Well, we thank you, Mr. Dallas, for coming in. And like I say, we're going to struggle with this, see if we can come up with something better.
I also have letters with the resident signatures on them
Okay,
if you need
would you
them.
like to bring that up to me? And I'll take it, we'll put it in the record. Thank you very much. Yeah, one's all I need. We'll put these in a copy. Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. All right. Anyone else in the audience that has a comment, want to come forward? Anybody on my left like to come forward and? Mr. Bayou, will you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, Shahir B. 820 Pamela Drive, Griffin, Georgia. First, I want to say a happy early first birthday to Mr. Smith.
Thank you, sir.
The reason I'm here today is because of a problem that most of you know that I brought to the commission, to the board before, that's the need for a restroom in Raymond Head Park. Now, that name itself warrants the basic amenities in the park. But, you know, I can deal with the lack of the other amenities. But we do need a restroom, and I think the problem is, I think that you all probably don't realize the activity that go on in that park. We have a lot of churches and civic groups that come in to the park and do activities for the youth over there. And it's a big problem because most of them are not from that neighborhood, yet they have to use the restroom like everybody else. And when they do, they either have to bother some of the tenants that live in Heritage Heights, or they have to get in their vehicles and ride home and use the restroom. And also the other part to it is people, it's more and more people now because of health conscious that are jogging in the park. And they also face the same, some of them live around Pamela Drive and George Circle and those areas. They don't live in the Heritage apartments, so they have a problem. So I just want the commissioners to really consider putting permanent restrooms there for the, especially for the churches and the civic groups that come in and work with the kids.
All right, and we have your petition. We'll put that in the record. And
Okay,
thank
all
you.
right.
We hear you.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you.
Okay, we'll discuss this. Anybody else on my left like to come forward and say anything? How about on my right? Anyone over here like to come forward and address the commission? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Public hearings are next on our agenda. They're conducted to allow public comment on specific advertised issues such as rezoning, ordinance, and so on. And we have some this evening on the agenda. Item number 8 is to receive comments regarding an amendment to the City of Griffin's zoning map to include the designation of a special housing revitalization overlay district. Mr. Kirk.
Yes, sir. The STRAD, as it's called, is actually the same overlay that's used for Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Meriwether Homes. We're requesting that the overlay be approved for Phase 3's location as well. And you have a location map attached. And basically, it just allows, changes the minimum floor space for the units that would be built. You're looking at about 68 units in Phase 3 versus the 88 that's in Phase 2. So it's just overlaid to help with the construction of that complex.
Okay. Might the commission have any questions?
Try to get a picture of it 1 second.
Anyone in the audience care to comment on this issue? Public hearing. All right, seeing none, we move on to item number 9.
Hold, just 1 second.
I'm sorry.
So this is adding the special housing on the end of Pimento Avenue?
Yeah, up against
Yes,
the park
sir.
back there.
Park Road.
So, okay, well, it still has Pimento Avenue on the street side.
Yeah, no,
Not on
that's
our
correct.
street sign.
The
We didn't
offshoot is
change
still,
that section of the street.
no,
that
that
section-
section is still Pimento.
That's still Pimento.
Correct.
So this land there is currently City of Griffin property,
Correct.
and so we're looking at just doing just that one tract instead of the whole area, or what?
It's actually 4 tracks.
Okay.
It's showing 1 on here, but it's actually 4 vacant lots right there.
And what's the intent to build there?
Another 55 and older mid-rise housing, about 68 units.
So is there also going to be one built between the police department and
Right.
the current redevelopment?
Yes, sir. That's Phase 2, which is hopefully to start in the next 30 days or so.
And this is Phase 3. the
This will be
next
Phase
one.
3.
How many units will be in this one?
68.
And this will all be senior?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, moving on. Item number 9, receive comments regarding a request to amend the UDC of the City of Griffin, Article 2, interpretations and definitions to add, replace, or modify definitions pursuant to the state law for consumer fireworks retail sales facility or store, and consumer fireworks retail sales stand. Mr. Kirk.
That's why we're adding the definitions. Basically, just with the new law, we're following state law that actually defines the consumer fireworks and the consumer fireworks retail store facilities, so there won't be any, misinterpretation of what each individual store can or is, so.
For those who might not know, the state legislature amended their fireworks law and told us what we're going to do, and this is part of it.
Right. So might as well let's not reinvent the wheel.
Anybody got any comments, questions? Anybody? Okay. Item number 10, more of the same. Received comments regarding a request to amend the UDC of the City of Griffin, Article 7, Table 7.3, permitted uses zoning districts to allow consumer fireworks retail sales facilities or store and consumer fireworks retail sales stand meeting the minimum standards of NFPA 1124 for new and existing buildings as a permitted use in the planned commercial district.
Yes, sir. In a nutshell, we basically added under PCD, consumer fireworks retail sales stand, and also sales facility or store. We're just basically allowing those businesses to locate under PCD only.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments? Public comment? All right, seeing none, we move on. Item number 11. Received comments regarding a request to rezone the property located at 615 North 18th Street consisting of 1.43 plus or minus acres from MDR to planned commercial development submitted by Barbara Morales.
Yes, sir. This site is basically a commercial site. At some point, I guess it got rezoned to MDR. If you look at the map, there's, across the street, you have another commercial use. It's around the corner from Rushton Mill. It does not follow the future land use map, but again, it's a commercial use. It has commercial structures on site. The applicant or the person that will lease the property is going to use it as a machine shop, which will be wholly enclosed in the building. He's already started kind of cleaning up the site as well. So basically, we're getting a use out of it versus it just sitting there and being vacant.
This evidently is part of that infamous citywide rezoning with the magic markers years ago.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ward, this is in your district. You have any question, comment? All right. It's public hearing. Anybody have any comments, questions on this issue? All right, seeing none. We have many items in the consent agenda as published, items 12 through 22. For no objections, anybody wants to pull one out? If not, we'll consider the consent agenda in toto.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion, Mr. Holberg, and second, Mr. McLemore, to approve the entire consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. It is unanimous. Moving on to the regular agenda. Item 23, consider a request to amend the City of Griffin zoning map to include the designation of a special housing revitalization overlay district.
Motion to approve.
Ms. Ward says motion to approve.
Second question.
Second, Mr. Holberg, question. Yes, sir.
Mr. Kirk, currently the other land surrounding that tract is HDR. In terms of the special housing revitalization overlay,
Yes, sir.
the surrounding area there is currently HDR.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of long-range plan, what would keep someone from building HDR adjacent to that and possibly do that potentially, not saying would, but changing the character of what,
Right. HDRA requires
I think it's 12 units
per acre.
Is
They
this
would
a
have.
higher density than that? or-
It is a higher density.
So it is higher,
Yes, sir.
okay.
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Not all in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Item 24, consider a request to amend the UDC of City of Griffin, Article 2, interpretation definitions to add, replace, modify definitions pursuant to state law of consumer fireworks as we've discussed.
Motion to approve.
Support the motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Mr. Holberg. Any discussion? All in favor? All right. We're going to get a bonus from the state legislature for doing what they want. Item number 25, consider request to amend UDC again to allow for consumer fireworks retail sales facilities as we've discussed.
Make motion approved.
Mr. Holberg, Ms. Ward, a second. Discussion. All in favor? Appears unanimous. I think, Mr. Brock, are you voting for? Okay. 26, consider request to rezone the property located at 615 North 18th Street consisting of 1.43 plus or minus acres from MDR to PCD, submitted by Barbara Morales.
Whose district is this?
This is Ms. Ward's district.
It's your district, isn't it?
That's my, I just want, have you had any objections or anything? Okay.
Motion approved.
Motion approved, Ms. Ward.
Second.
Second, Mr. Holberg. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, appears unanimous. 27, this is an interesting one. Consider a request from Spalding Hosiery Shop and a revocable license agreement to encroach upon the 4th Street right-of-way by building a loading dock onto the east side of 335 East Solomon Street.
Make motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second approve. Do we have any discussion on this? All in favor, please raise your hand. There's 5. All opposed? 2. Motion carries. Item number 28. Consider approval for Four Seasons Cable Construction to install new single-mode fiber optic cabling from Police Department to Spalding County 911, Spalding County Sheriff's Department, Jail, Spalding County Public Works Building Sign Shop, Spalding County Animal Shelter, Spalding County Water and Construction Maintenance Building, and the Spalding County Correctional Institute in the amount of $98,500. And Mr. Poland's here if you have any questions. How say you?
Make a motion, we approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Was that you, Ms. Ward?
Mm-hmm.
Second. Discussion. I'll make one comment. I really appreciate you continuing to work with the county to do this because I think it saves both our taxpayers money in the long run. It's a good joint partnership. Thank you. All in favor? Appears unanimous. 29, consider the adoption of the 2016 Griffin Spalding Comprehensive Transportation Plan update as published by RS&H for the city of Griffin.
Make a motion to approve.
Mr. Holberg, a motion to approve. I'll second, and I will say that Mr. Holberg and I serve on that committee, and this was a long, well-thought-out plan, and I think it's a good one.
And what's great is that we did it with Spalding County, as in the past we've been separate, and so we've merged our ideas and plans, so it's a joint effort.
So we have a comprehensive plan between the city and county, and we split the cost, so that's another good thing. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Appears unanimous. Thank you. 30, consider approval of a placard to be placed on the recognition wall at the City of Griffin Municipal Golf Course in memory of Joe Lee Mathis. Mr. McCord.
I'll make a motion to approve it. If y'all need an explanation, Mr. Mathis is a avid golfer here in the city of Griffin, had many tournaments held out at the city golf course, and that's pretty much it. Some residents came to me and wanted to honor him as we have honored other people at the golf course, and I would love to see us do something in honor of Mr. Mathis.
Second.
For second, Mr. Holberg. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. 31, consider approval of 2017 local maintenance and improvement grant with the Georgia DOT in the amount of $336,059 for Public Works Department, Public Works Utilities Department. And I believe that is considerably more than we've been getting, if I remember correctly.
We got about 50,000 more because we do distribution from Hospital 170.
Make a motion to approve.
Mr. Holberg with a motion to approve. Second by Mr. Brock. Discussion. All in favor? They say that House Bill 170, the new fuel tax and adjustments, will create over $900 million in the state of Georgia to start rebuilding our roads and transportation. Item number 32, consider appointment of a city resident or business owner to the 9-member Griffin Spalding Business Tourism Association Board of Directors as a voting member as provided for in the GSBTA bylaws. We have 2 nice candidates in the book, Ms. Robin Eisen and Ms. Terry Colling. Do we have a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Ms. Eisen.
We have a nomination, Mr. Ison, and I will nominate Ms. Colling. And since we don't need to close, that's the only two eligible. We will vote in the order in which they were nominated, and we'll start with Ms. Robin Ison. All in favor of her, please raise your hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. You need to go no farther. Ms. Ison is the new member. Congratulations to Robin. And item number 33, consider on first reading an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin, Georgia at section 6-53 to comply with the new statutory requirement for local governments issuing alcoholic beverages license to adopt by ordinance a resolution of policy and procedure to report disciplinary action against licensees to the Department of Revenue within 45 days. Again, this is mandated by the state legislature. It's like, not like we have any choice, right, Drew?
That's explanation enough right there.
Doing what we're told. Motion, please.
Motion approved.
Ms. Ward, the motion. Second?
Second.
Mr. Brock, discussion. All in favor? All right. We have complied. Item number 34, consider a motion to deny the offer of compromise in the anti-litem notice dated June 16, 2016 from attorney Dorian Murray on behalf of Rhonda Berry and Annie Jester arising from a collision with a Griffin police vehicle occurring on May 5, 2016. We have a motion to deny.
Make a motion to deny.
We have a motion to deny, Mr. Holberg. A second.
So moved, sir.
Mr. Brock, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? 6-1. I can move forward and try to settle this. All right, Mr. Birthday Boy.
All right, we, as you know, we received our roadway enhancement beautification grant from DOT in the amount of $50,000. However, it'll probably be later on this fall before Dr. Keller starts planning at that intersection due to the extreme dry conditions. But as soon as we see where we can get some rain, we will start implementing that. Dr. Keller also applied for and received a grant from the Georgia Transportation Infrastructure Bank, which is about $500,000 that will help us with the roundabout at intersection number 2. So we're excited about that. Somebody mentioned earlier, I think Mr. Barron, about intersection number 1. If you've been up North Hill Street, that's progressing nicely. We've got all the contracts for property at intersection number 2 in the roundabout. I think the county's got all their contracts pretty much settled. So I think they've got some issues to deal with on the businesses there, but we're pretty close to getting all that property and ready for that. Bids on the old city hall and the new fire station will come in the first week in August. The property at 310 North 12th, which is the North 12th and Experiment Street, has been cleaned up, and we'll start demo on that. The person that had all of his property there has cleaned that up for the most, not cleaned it up, but removed his property. So we'll proceed to clean it up and get that demoed, and that'll have a whole
Thank
different
goodness.
look. Waiting on the final digest from the tax commissioner. She wants to have everything done by August the 1st to submit it to the state by the 15th. So hopefully at our next meeting, we'll have information on our tax digest. We mentioned the GSBTA, the Business and Tourism Association. They met yesterday, elected Daoud Amin as chairman of that organization, and now they have their final member who is appointed with Ms. Ison, so they will get to work. And about tourism, the Tourism Spotlight is tomorrow at the Welcome Center. The showing of the Rosenwald movie will be at 10 o'clock. That'll last till about 11:30, lunch at 11:30. And in the afternoon, the State Economic Development Product Development Team will be here to give us all the information from their visit a couple of months ago. So that'll start at about 12:15 and go until about 2:30. Okay? Sign-up's underway for Citizens Government Academy. Congratulate those in the Fire Academy, and let's get a brand-new group coming in here the Thursday after Labor Day for our Citizens Government Academy. And that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Whalen.
I want to wish Mr. Smith a happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
I think Mr. Smith's entitled to at least one nap a day now at his age. Would y'all- okay with y'all?
I'll take you up on that.
All right, happy birthday, Kenny.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
staff, for everything you've done this summer.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kenny, and
Thank you.
congrats again to Marcus on his continued long streak on the Capper and the Pappers. I appreciate that, all the work they do.
Guess I'm a happy birthday, Kenny, too.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Smith, rather.
Okay, Mr. Brock.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Thank you.
I've got you by a few years.
I'll catch up
Probably
with
more
you.
than a few. Well, I don't think he'll ever catch you.
He's just a little bit older than my kids, but not much.
Ditto.
Have y'all seen our new fire
That's
truck?
all I got.
This is a $1 million piece of equipment before they put all the bells and whistles on it. It's a ball of wire right now, but it'll be here, time me when? October. Looking forward to it.
Also, August 1, insurance classification goes to Class 1 rating
Class
for
1.
insurance benefits. So I'm already seeing the reductions starting to hit as you input insurance quotes. So, good job, Tom.
Okay, Ms. Ward.
I just want to wish Mrs. Smith a happy birthday too.
Thank
And
you.
you look well considering what we put you through.
I'm holding up pretty good, huh? Thank you.
You are. I'm impressed. Well, I, again, wish you happy birthday. I was here today and ate some Miss Ward's incredible cake. It's the best there is. A couple of quick things. We have closed on 5 pieces of property for the new airport. I've signed my name a couple hundred times already, and we have 4 more closings scheduled next week. So we're marching through buying property, and so far it's been a rather amiable group. I think the citizens out there have found that through the process, the Federal Relocation Act and our work, we have been very fair with them, and there's been a very minimum of issues so far. So that's good news, and we can move on. So that's good. Please, want a good turnout at that tourism meeting tomorrow. This is really important, I think, for the business of the city as we move forward. So if you can't make the whole thing, come for part of it. And I think that's all I have to say. So thank you all for coming. Even those who weren't getting paid for tonight are here. Is there a motion to adjourn? Mr. Holberg. Mr. Ecklemore, second.